329.
Welcome back, Wash Up Walk-Ons fans, episode 329 of this here podcast. Sitting down with a couple of my best friends again on a very late Wednesday evening.
Yep.
It's so late that my brain is shut off. I don't even know what day we're in. I'm usually asleep by now. Kluver's got us up at all hours of the night trying to record because once again, for about the 15th time, he is using embezzled money from Kevin and I to pay for trips around the United States, staying in fancy hotels, driving around beautiful speedways, and just eating crumble cookie on our dime. So I hope he's having a jolly old time, just absolutely destroying our plans and evenings, as well as our community bank account. I'll turn it over to him now, and he can rebuttal.
I'm in a fucking courtyard, dude. I'm in a courtyard.
Hey, Marriott's ain't bad, right? We stayed at a Marriott for quite a few days in college, and it wasn't too bad, was it, Kev?
It was horrible. What are you talking about?
It was horrible. It was horrible.
It was the worst few days of my life.
Unbelievable that they don't have to go through 23-day two-a-days now.
No, not only that, is like their hotel is the one right across from Kinnick, man. The van rides, they don't have to do the van rides. The van rides might have been like the worst part of camp.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't make sense, but it does, like you just have to sit there in this hot ass van with like 12 other big ass dudes scrunched in and do like, it's not a fun drive. There's like a shit ton of stoplights on the way.
All in sweats. Everybody's
all in sweats, and you're just contemplating like, I just have to do this shitty ride, and then my life's gonna suck for the next 8 hours, and then I get to do this shitty ride back again.
It's a purgatory period.
Not gonna lie, I love the ride back.
The ride back was only good because you had snack.
And it was the ride back. It was the ride out of hell.
Yeah, but like you're at that point, it's just like, I feel like shit. I hate my life. Like you could get someone to, hand you $1 million. You're probably still going to be like, yeah, I don't even care.
I would have cared. It's the ride out of hell, Drake, but that they're just taking you to the hotel that sits right outside the gates of hell so that you can go back in the door the next day.
Yeah, but like at least you're only going to hell for day camp, and you're not just like actually locked in there.
Imagine.
You had the illusion of freedom.
We talked about it. We talked about it often. Kevin and I did. Like, fuck it. Hey, let's just put some beds in this motherfucker. Let's just sleep in the indoor.
Just roll out the cots every night.
You know what? Who would have hated that? The managers, because the managers would have been in charge of rolling out 100 and however many cots for everybody at night and then putting them away in the morning. Speaking of a snack, I just had Pizza Hut. There was once upon a time where the boys would all get their own medium Pizza Hut pizza. Oh,
that and DQ Blizzard Day.
Oh. That made hell a little less warm.
That was the only day in camp where you're like, you know what? Today doesn't suck.
Kevin in his mind is like, you know what? This Dairy Queen Blizzard, it makes Division I football worth it, man.
You know what? This Dairy Queen Blizzard quite literally saved my life.
That glass on the third story of the Marriott, they had to toughen that up. Wow. Pizza Hut was good. And I washed it down with a crumble cookie, and they are taking over the world. Unfortunately, they do not give a shit about sponsoring us or giving us a coupon code.
What about we got to hit up Cookies and Dreams here in Coralville. They're basically the same thing.
We got to go local.
Yeah, that's what we got to do, man.
This national chain bullshit hasn't been working for us. Drake and I, we pimped Jenny's month after month for months. We started pimping Crumble. Both are too good for us. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they are.
And when you think about it, their branding.
But Guy, we weren't even looking for money. We were just looking for a box of 4 every week.
Yeah, hey man, just send me the new flavors.
Like all I wanted was the new flavors.
And
maybe send me the recipes.
I'll tell you what, they could take a page out of Jack's Pizza, the frozen pizza book, because, well, and granted, Jack's is probably a smaller brand than those brands, but there was one time I tweeted about Jack's Pizza. This was like fresh out of college, like when I moved back to Waukee with Lauren. The Jack's Pizza account tweeted back at us, or back at me, "Glad you enjoy the pizza. We'd love to send you some." And they DoorDashed. They had me this could have been a scam too, but I did it anyway. I sent them my address. 45 minutes later, they DoorDashed me 6 Jack's pizzas.
Which is incredible because I remember like during the height of the pandemic, Dave Portner is reviewing all the frozen pizzas. They're like the only company that wouldn't send him one or something.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
So he gave Jack's a 0.0.
What's your top frozen pizza out there? Let's do some bussin' tier talk here.
Top frozen pizza. We're like talking like store-bought brands, not like actual restaurants that freeze
you
their
can't
pizzas.
So you were gonna say Lou Malnati's.
You can't choose Lou's frozen pizza.
Okay.
So we were gonna go 3 for 3 on Lou's right there.
Yeah, bro.
Pretty good stuff.
You order a 2-pack of Lou Malnati's frozen pizza. You throw that bitch in the oven. About 45 minutes later, you got yourself a pie. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Got one in my fridge right now, saving it for a rainy day.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, thick crust. Yeah.
Oh god damn.
Mm-hmm. I was actually a big fan of Home Run In growing up.
Never even heard of it.
Kevin,
I think it's like a Chicago, Illinois type brand. But yeah, Home Run In.
I'm gonna go DiGiorno. Final answer.
Would you like to phone a friend?
I'll solve the puzzle. DiGiorno. Final answer.
DiGiorno has really kind of stepped up their game. They've got a lot of different crusts, and that's actually what we buy now. I grew up on Jack's Pizza and Tombstone and Red Baron. Todd bought them all. Hey,
Tombstone ain't too shabby.
Todd, he's a fan of a frozen pizza.
How often was the Kluver household eating frozen pizza for dinner?
All right, once a week.
Okay.
Once a week for one of the meals. In the summer, a lot, like as we got older.
Mm-hmm.
So like, hey, what are we doing for lunch? I don't know. Fucking throw pizza in. I mean, is what it is.
Now, were you always putting the extra cheese on it, or is that a college development for you?
No. Always extra cheese. You grab the mozzarella bag out of the fridge. You sprinkle a little extra mozz on there. You gotta add a little fat to the party.
My dude, you tripled like the amount of cheese that Jack's originally had put on these pizzas.
Hey man, there's a lot of things in college that you two could blast me over that involve food. That's one of them.
Without fail, Thursday night trip to Culver's. Or no, it wasn't Thursday. Thursday was Black Card. You were going to Stella. What was Was Sunday night Culver's night? When was Culver's night? I forget.
I don't know,
It was
but
once a week though. It was without fail.
But I was walking in with that triple butter burg and a hot fudge sundae.
And a hot fudge sundae without fail.
What did you think?
Like death taxes, Kluver's getting Culver's.
And and guess what? Still happening every Sunday night. Lauren and I find us at the local Waukee Culver's. We basically
let's keep it going. Is Culver's your top fast food chain? Fast food burger chain. Go.
Shake Shack, but I don't know if you can consider it fast food because there's no drive-through.
It's still fast food in my opinion.
Then Shake Shack's number one.
Shake Shack's really good.
Culver's is number two.
Drake.
We don't have a Shake Shack in Iowa though.
Dude, I do love a Culver's Butterburger. I don't know if it beats Five Guys, but it might.
Five Guys is top 5.
I mean, Shake Shack is definitely top 3. I think Five Guys is definitely top 3. And
Yeah.
Culver's could round out the 3.
It's a damn good top 3
with that.
So I'm gonna go. Five Guys is my number 1. Shake Shack's my number 2.
Okay.
We don't have them around here, but I just remember Whataburger.
Whataburger.
Jacksonville.
Whataburger can hit if you want it to, bro.
Hit pretty hard, boys.
All right. So I went to Texas a couple of years ago. Or no, last year. Right before I moved to Tennessee, I stopped in Texas to hang with some buddies and went to Whataburger. It's dog shit.
So
Whataburger's dog shit.
I've had both experiences. I've had them serve it hot and fresh and it hit, and I've had them serve it kind of and it didn't. It's a hit or miss. It's the most consistent is Shake Shack. Shake Shack, you get the same product.
Shake Shack never misses. That is accurate. Sometimes Five Guys bun gets a little soggy.
Yeah. And the fries can be off sometimes too.
Oh, I've never had a bad experience with Five Guys fries.
So, yeah.
Now I'm going to go on record and say this.
Okay.
In America.
Oh shit! Your mic just switched over. Talk again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
In-N-Out's the most overrated restaurant chain in America,
and I agree with that. On this podcast right here, episode 329 of the Wash Up Walk-Ons, the long snapper is agreeing with the defensive back. I want to call you a defensive back. You really ended up as a linebacker. That In-N-Out was not trash by any means.
In-N-Out burger is trash.
I'm not going to say it's trash. I'm going to say it's extremely overrated.
It's middle tier.
It's
best.
Bottom tier. In-N-Out is bottom tier.
I'm glad we all agree.
Right. Can we rename it the In-N-Out is Trash podcast?
Yeah. I'm going to name
went there, got it the secret menu, animal style and everything. It's like, man,
get this bullshit.
I was legitimately pissed off that I waited 35 minutes.
I was mad too because the wait was hella long when we were out in California.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I had it again one time in Las Vegas, and it was just like reconfirm my order.
Same. I had it in Phoenix last year when I went out and was visiting Drake and was with friends, and it was a 4 out of 10. It was trash.
Which is bad on the burger scale, man.
It's bad. It's bad. Drake, I want to hear your opinions because you got to dabble with all 5 flavors of the crumble cookies from this week. Usually a Dickhead Tuesday thing, but let me be honest, boys, the fucking content is dry. If you haven't figured out, we do have a couple things football related to talk about, but the content well is running dry. So give me your thoughts on the crumble flavors of this week.
Maple cinnamon roll is one of the best cookies that's ever been made.
Thank you.
That white chocolate Oreo was pretty crazy,
dude.
Cowboy or Buckeye brownie was one of the better chocolate flavors that they've had.
Yes, you're 3 for 3 so far.
That coconut lime was no dice for me.
I didn't even get it.
Kaylee loves that stuff, but she still didn't like it that much.
Wow.
I thought that they really did birthday cake disservice. Thought it was just super average. Thought they could have done way better.
It's unfortunate because that's the one I have left.
And then I think I got the last week's blueberry again because it was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing?
When y'all are eating these things, like
we cut ours into 8s. and then pick a little eighth, and then we just throughout the week we just keep them in the fridge, and throughout the week piece off of the.
So you'll eat 4 cookies over the course of a week.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know because, with the amount of the guys that are getting in some Snapchats of these things, I'm thinking like Drake's going to get diabetes in the next 3 weeks.
But I'm also sharing them.
That's also good to know.
And I usually am too. Lauren's a part of this as well. But I will say this. There's an alternate world where Drake and I still live together after college, and neither of the women that we have in our life are in our life. And Drake and I just eat fucking Jenny's ice cream and crumble cookies every night together.
And we're both just disgustingly fat.
So fat.
Pathetic pieces.
I don't do any CrossFit. Drake doesn't even do jiu-jitsu. We both.
Assuming just going at this, I know we're gonna lose a few followers here because the last time you talked about your religious beliefs, we lost a Patreon member.
We did.
But
really?
Oh yeah, Kevin, didn't even hear about that one?
No, because I don't. I've still yet to listen to a Dickhead Tuesday episode.
That's because they're private. You got to sign up for the Patreon to get it.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not paying $5 a month.
Well, you hate the kids then.
Talk.
You fucking asshole. Here's a quick synopsis. There was a wild Thursday that we got into.
Did this go down in the Discord or what?
Some of the questions were asked in the Discord.
Okay.
And we got into, Drake prompted the Discord one day to ask us any wild questions, nothing pertaining to football, just the most random out there topics. And one of the questions was simply, what is the meaning of life? A part of that discussion was a little bit of a, we religion or the idea of a creator came up, and, we just hashed out kind of what I believe in, or rather don't believe in. And shortly after that, one of the Patreon subscribers, and it really hurts a little bit because it was one of our longest subbed guys.
No way.
Like real
probably
loyal one. And to be honest, he didn't even do it in a disrespectful manner either. He was like, I've been one of your longest subscribers, and after hearing this, I'm sorry, I just can't do it anymore. Can't support somebody with these views
after all the shit that we said.
And then he's like, I hope you guys, take care, whatever. And that was that. And
so like no malice, just that's kind of sad, isn't it?
It hurt.
Drake
hurt me to listen to.
Drake can confirm that I definitely didn't get like crazy wild.
No, definitely not.
With my beliefs or like say any like disrespectful shit on religion or anything. But this guy did in his message say, I'm extremely disturbed by your beliefs. Or
I gotta go back and find this.
Whatever. No, you're not gonna find it because it was a private message on the Patreon. He's like, I've been a follower or a supporter since the beginning, and I can no longer financially support you guys because of your disturbing beliefs. And I was like, hey man,
what the fuck did y'all say on this podcast?
I promise we did not.
It wasn't wild, dude. It was just basically that Kluver isn't a big God guy.
I essentially said, like, as the Bible reads word for word, I'm not a Bible guy. Like, I do not believe, like, I'm not what do they call it? I don't see, this is how much I am into religion. I don't know who the people are that take the Bible literal word for word, but I'm the farthest away from those people. Right. It's not to say I don't know if there's a creator. There could be a creator. Sure seems pretty funky that we're all sitting here on this rock. And
so you're agnostic.
Yeah, probably the best way to describe me.
Okay.
And this guy was not having one bit of it. Not one. Anyway, Drake, where were you going with that? Because you said
you have to remind me what I even said. Because
you said the last time we got into, you said we're gonna lose a few followers here because you were gonna go in a certain direction.
I don't remember how.
Something about it was.
You were gonna ask
talking about you two being fat, eating Jenny's ice cream and crumble cookies,
and a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah. Okay, there you go.
Why did I even help him? I didn't want him to actually say what he's about to say, and I helped him.
No, it's not. No. It was on the idea that Kluver said in another universe. Say that there was a scale of 1 to 100, and like, if there's multiple universes, then you would assume that there's a 100 out of 100 version of you somewhere, but there's also a 1 out of 100 version somewhere that's like the most pathetic, sloppy piece of shit, like drug addict that steals from his mother and beats his dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, we've talked about this question before.
Crazy.
It's one of my favorite. There's hypothetical. There's 100 universes. It could represent infinity. Out of 100 universes and 100 lives, where do you rate your current life in the one that we know is actually real? Or this could be a simulation as well, but.
Were you actually asking that question?
Where do you think you are? I don't know. And it obviously depends on what parameters you're putting on that. Like,
I think what you're basically asking at the base of your question is, how much of your potential do you feel like you're filling?
That could be one route. Yeah, that's a good route. But you're also, you could take that several different ways, like physical potential,
just potential as a human being,
financial potential. I mean,
just all encompassing.
Well, I don't know if some of those are going to contradict each other.
Why?
Because you're probably not going to be the richest, fittest. I mean, if you get real detailed, strongest, best dad, best, some of those there's going to be a time warp there where, like, if you're going to be the fittest version of yourself, you're probably going to have to take away a lot of time from work. And that's going to take away your earning potential, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? As an example.
I get what you're saying. You can only allocate so much time to each category. I guess. So but you can still try to be your best version of yourself.
You're right. You're right.
In each one.
Yeah.
It don't take, hour and a half a day. You can pretty much be the fittest version of yourself. Your returns after that are going to be greatly diminished versus 6 hours a day,
Yeah. Yeah.
Work 8 hours a day.
Sure.
Study for an extra hour a day, spend the rest of your time with your family. You build a pretty good life.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you think you're up in the 80s, 90s?
Ooh, where am I? Of how good I could be versus the worst I could be.
It's sort of a harrowing, I don't even know if that's the right word, question, because you're basically asking yourself to
rate yourself.
Rate your effort in your current life.
It really just comes down to effort, right? Because we all have the same 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
80s. I'm in the 80s somewhere.
Okay. All right.
What about yourselves?
I think I might be in the 70s.
Okay.
I definitely I'd like to think I'm in the better half. Whether it's true or not, I've always felt like, it probably goes back to Todd when I was like 6 years old. There's always somebody outworking you. I always feel like there's more can be done.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So,
but you also gotta let yourself sleep at night.
Yeah, no, I work on my, income earning responsibilities plenty to make me happy with myself. I work on my hobbies more than I probably should, CrossFit otherwise. So I feel great right now. Adding dad into the equation is honestly, I'm fucking stoked for it, but it's going to be fun.
You better add XFL snapper into there first, because that kid's expensive.
Need the call. I get the call and I'm there, but I need the call first. Kev, I didn't tell you. I got reached out to by the guy who's running the specialist combine for the XFL.
Oh yeah, well I know you applied, right? When
I applied, and the guy reached out to me on Instagram. He sent.
That's not the mode of communication you're looking for.
Well, he's the guy.
Okay, but I know. Go on.
He sends me a message and says, "How's the snapping?" That's all it said. He said, "I see you're in shape. How's the snapping?" I told him basically like, "Hey, you give me a couple weeks, I'll be as good as anybody that you got." And we have like 3 months, 4 months until we would actually go and do that. So I don't know if he's going to reach out.
Did you respond after that, or
he did not? I don't even know if he saw it, or he definitely didn't send me a response. So maybe that wasn't good enough for him.
So did you get a? When's the last time you had a ball in your hands?
When I did the specialist camp a couple weeks ago.
No, that's right.
But
that wasn't a couple weeks ago. That was more recent than that.
2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, time's flying, bro. In the summertime,
fast, man.
In the summer, time flies, dude. Time flies. Except for when you're doing game simulators. Whew.
I mean, think about it this way. If we were still playing right now, summer would be halfway over. 1 month down, 1 month to go, and then camp.
Yeah, they're let's see. They are, because you always
I actually never thought about it like that as wow, dude. If I'm glad that I didn't realize while we were playing that summer was only 2 months and then camp was a month, because I might have jumped.
they've got well, they've got tomorrow and Friday left in that first 4 weeks. And then they have next week off for July 4th.
Yep.
And then they'll go the last 3 full weeks of July. Yeah. And then we're getting close, man.
Y'all remember when we were in the team room in one of KF's meetings? It's late in camp and we're so ready to get out of the hotel. And then KF goes, yeah, we get out of the hotel on Saturday, but we're still in camp mode. School starts next week, but we're still in camp mode for another week. And then we'll go into game prep. And you're just like, KF, dude.
Camp mode.
Like that's the worst. Camp mode is the worst mode.
No, it's worse than that. It's camp mode in December.
Okay. Yep. You're right. There is one thing that can get worse, and it's when you're preparing for a bowl game and the coaches decide,
you know what?
We're building for next year.
Fuck that bowl game.
Fuck it. Josh Dobbs in Tennessee are going to be lining up across from us. Chalk it up.
Alvin Kamara.
We're building for 15,
Glad we did.
Hey, same. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Hindsight 2020. I'll take the neck injury in bowl prep 2014 to go undefeated in 2015.
Yep, I'll listen to Rocky Top about 80 times. 12-0.
That motherfucker played in the locker room.
And now I moved to Nashville, and there's a lot of University of Tennessee fans around here. And when they find out we're from Iowa, or I'm from Iowa, and played in 2014, I rode the bench. So I get to tell them that. I was like, yeah, I was there. I was riding the pine while our team was getting blown the fuck out. But I told them that I never want to hear Rocky Top again, ever.
I had a really weird thing happen to me that game. Never happened.
A guy more athletic than you made you look stupid.
No, that happened often. Right before kickoff, I got these really, really bad stomach pains. Like during the national anthem, I was like keeled over. Like I was like, fuck, what is going on? I thought I might have my appendix might have burst or something. It hurt like a son of a bitch. And then I like jumped up and down a few times, did a couple sprints back and forth, still didn't feel great. Eventually kind of went away, but like I was like, fuck, I might not be able to go. I got to tap out. I think it was my body telling me something was about to happen.
Hey, just go home now, kid.
Hey,
There's nothing to stay around here for.
it was my guts saying, hey, get out of here. You got to go. Run.
Why didn't your guts tell us not to fly out to Pasadena?
Because they also knew that we were going to Lowry's.
Oh, greedy guts.
Yeah. They wanted that prime rib and those taters.
Which truly is one of the best steak meals that you can possibly get. Do yourself a favor and go get some Lowry's prime rib steakhouse. Holy smokes.
I'd say it's
What do you think that meal cost?
$100 a plate. I found that out.
That's it
for when we went.
for when we went.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more.
There's no way.
That's what I was told, dude.
Drake, boys were eating 3 16-ounce prime ribs.
Yeah, but do you think they gave us like a bulk discount?
I don't
No, but
know.
what
I don't
I'm
think
saying-
we paid for it. Like
No, what I'm saying is that
Lowry's
that's-
puts it on for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what a normal person who gets a reservation pays for the prime rib, mashed potatoes, and corn plate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if there was a bill for old Gary Barta to pay at the end of the night, that thing's approaching.
It was $1 million bill.
Well, okay, well that's horrible math. You're fucking so dumb.
I'm so dumb.
He said it's $1 million. He said it's $1 million.
Hey, bro, I was trying to hyperbolize.
How
and I
many
went a little
fucking
bit overboard?
How many zeros he's throwing on the end?
Hey, I was trying to hyperbolize and I went a little bit overboard. Dude, we ate 10,000 plates.
We ate, I think, what 150 of us went. So it was a 15.
No, it was a bigger
No, because
group
like
than
I think
that.
the coaches had their wives. Did the coaches' wives go?
Yep.
Oh yeah, probably.
And
So
I
what?
think the band was there, weren't they? Or
No.
there was another group of somebody in there.
Well,
Our trainers were there.
okay, call it 200. It was
Call
a
it 200 people.
it's a $20,000 meal.
That's 20.
No, 200
Far cry
people
from a million.
by one plate. People ate way more than one plate.
Okay.
Drake, okay, you're still off by a factor of
Yeah, 10 times, Kevin. I fucking get it.
no,
was
you're off like
hyperbolizing.
25 times.
No, because you guys are underestimating how much. Then you're not adding taxes on the end. You pay 10% more, then you got to pay gratuity fee. How much is gratuity on an $80,000 bill, right?
It's
It's up
still
there to
20%.
100,000. I
It's
said $1
only
million. It's
$60,000.
10-fold. Both of you guys eat my ball sack, okay? I don't need this from you guys right now. It's 9:00 in the afternoon, the evening, and I don't need this.
Speaking of paying your taxes or your gratuity at a restaurant, if you wanted to add a little chunk of change to your pocket and there was like a sports book that you wanted to go to,
You go to DRF.
you go to DRF Sports. You know, shout out to the boys at DRF.
So
I'm going to
go hit a 15-team parlay so you can afford this $1 million meal that Drake's talking about.
find your way to the
Hey,
lakes.
dude, Tom Segura just said on a podcast the other day that he spent 80 grand on a meal one time.
Yeah, that's asinine.
That is
Um,
incredible. I would love to attend an $80,000 meal sometime. Not
And-
pay for it, but
And Tom Segura just made his way into the ad because I'm not done with the ad yet. Go find yourself down to Lakeside Casino in Osceola, or go to your phone, ia.drf.com, and find yourself into that app and get yourself some green. We're slowly.
Just go win money, dude. The sports book is just giving it away. They
Yeah.
give you these odds and then you just pick the right one and they give it to you for free, dude. It's the easiest thing you could possibly do.
And DRF is trying to be, the Iowa friendly sports book. They want to be the guys in the state of Iowa. And why wouldn't we support them? So shout out to DRF for sponsoring the episode. And they had a tweet today that I retweeted. And they said, who's your top 5? It was basically a Mount Rushmore +1 of Iowa football players. And Miguel Racinos was my top. It was all specialists. It was a joke. But I did actually put out Miguel Racinos. Miguel Big Dick Racinos.
Miguel XL. Miguel is an all-time interesting character for the.
He might be all
He might be a
brain.
top 5 most interesting character in Iowa football.
That would be a tough one as well.
Dean Soponitis.
Dean Soponitis is number 1 on that big old rock sculpture. Who's your top 5? Who's your top 5 Iowa football players all time? Tier talk, top 5 Iowa football players.
Bob Sanders.
Nile Kinnick's number 1, obviously.
Adrian Claiborne.
I hate that Nile pick. I really do.
Bob Sanders, Adrian Claiborne, Brandon Scherff.
Scherff makes your top 5.
Dude, Scherff was one of the freakiest human beings to ever walk this earth, bro.
In college, you're right. Yeah.
I don't mind Scherff being Outland winner.
Yeah, I agree.
What more do you want him to do? I don't mind that.
Well, a lot of the guys left off this list did a fuckload too. They did a lot. Bob Sanders is on there, no doubt.
And then from there, I'll probably go. See, this is a Hail Mary pick because I never even got to see him play. But Andre Tippett, I'm guessing he was absolutely supernatural back in the day.
Has to be.
So, and then number 5, I feel like I'm disrespecting this person horribly because I can't remember. I know exactly who I want to pick. I just can't remember his name.
Position?
From the 80s.
Larry Station. Chuck Long.
Nope.
Yeah, Larry Station's up there too.
There's been Stations in mine, I think.
There's been some dogs.
Brad Banks. I changed my mind. No. That's not the name I was trying to think of. Brad Banks. I changed my mind on the last.
But Brad Banks for 1 year, right? 2 years.
Dude, 2 years.
He was best Iowa quarterback we've ever had by a long shot.
Best season.
All I'm saying is Brad Banks was by far the most fun to watch.
I don't know if Brad Banks.
CJ Beathard is number 2.
I don't know if Brad makes my.
No, he doesn't. He does.
I love Siege. He's the golden goat.
All right, somebody give me their top 5, and maybe I can.
You can't put him above Chuck Long.
All right.
Guy came second in the Heisman to Bo Jackson.
Well, I mean, Brad came second in the Heisman too.
Yeah, but not to Bo Jackson, the greatest athlete of all time.
I've done jujitsu with Bo Jackson's old fullback.
Yeah, you did mention that. I worked out with the 2021 IndyCar Series champion this morning. By the way,
that's pretty sick.
Kind of sick, right? Alex Palou or Palo. He's a Spaniard. He's 25 years old. Looks like he's 18. He happened to be in the CrossFit gym I was working at in Indianapolis this morning. So that was kind of sick. Not total off subject. I think you're right there, Drake. Tippett's probably got to be in there.
Larry Station might have been a sick one too, but I don't know anything about Larry Station.
I just never seen. Have I seen clips of Tippett? I feel like I have.
Yeah. You guys remember so you know how they had the
I wanted to
portraits of all the All-Americans on the wall there?
Yeah. That's what
Larry
I was trying
Station's
to go
portrait looked like a 35-year-old man.
He was a man now. He was a man.
Like them dudes back in the 80s looked like men. Like, like when we played, guys, they look like, college boys. You're not a man yet. Some of the seniors, they look like a man. Those guys back in the 80s looked like full-grown men.
I still don't look like a man.
Yeah, you're better with the bald head.
Tippett?
Yeah, Larry Station is not somebody I would have wanted to line up against.
Or Tippett.
Yeah, those are some bad dudes, man. Those two both got to be in the top 5.
I feel like those two and Bob Sanders are my guarantee.
Adrian Claiborne.
Claiborne does not make my top 5.
I don't think Claiborne makes my top 5 either.
He probably slips in the top 10. My other 2 in the top 5 are gonna be.
I mean, if you guys can't put the only Heisman winner we have in the top 5, then I don't know what you're doing.
I have a
stadium is named after the man.
It's
a basic pick. Everyone's gonna do it, but it's obligatory.
I don't like putting a guy that played against plumbers What do they say when they compare Michael and LeBron? Michael played against plumbers. It's so funny. I feel like the disrespect that I give Nile Kinnick gets taken for who he was as a person. And he could not be more of a better person, American patriot legend. As a strict athlete football player in 1939, I might have been able to light Nile Kinnick up. I was 3 inches taller and weighed 50 more pounds.
But, getting out of subject here again, we look back and say Larry Station, Andre Tippett in the 80s, wrecking shop. Who knows? They might have gotten their asses whooped in the 2010s.
I don't know. You're going to get some pushback on that.
Okay. And
now.
I'm just saying is like, you can't it's just wrong to compare eras like that. You have to take greatness for what it is.
Give me Andre Tippett right now. He's
all right. Give me Drew Ott. Final answer.
That's
a wrong answer. That's just a wrong answer.
Maybe if you would have.
I got to check out his podcast early because I forgot to go pick up my quesadilla. They close at 9.
Okay. Get your ass out of here then.
Just leave us for a quesadilla.
He that's the most stoner move he's ever pulled on this podcast. Jesus. He forgot that he ordered a quesadilla, and 11 minutes from the time that they close, he says, I got to leave to pick up a quesadilla at 9:00 at night. I mean, what is going on? Kev, I agree with you that the era thing is hard to do, but the argument there is soft for Tippett and Station not being able to compete physically.
No, I don't actually believe that. It's just you're doing the theoretical thing. Okay.
You're right. You're right.
People just weren't 6'5" back in the 1930s. They just didn't walk around like that. Okay.
But that's not true because there was plenty of 6'5" people walking around in 1930.
Not plenty. Plenty.
But they were still a thing.
A lot rarer than today.
And it's not like people these days don't end up 5'7" like Nile did. Like there's people.
Okay, yeah, but these days the 5'7" people don't get to play football unless you're a kicker. Looking at you, Keith Duncan.
Looking at you, Dunk. Yeah, if we're going strictly by how you were considered, oh God, I don't know.
The fact that you guys are not putting Nile Kinnick in your 5-time all-time greatest Hawkeyes.
Best football players.
Was that the question? Was that the tweet?
I believe that was best Iowa football players, top 5 Iowa football players of all time. If we're talking greatest Hawkeye, well, then that starts to bring in your.
Okay, so that was my original understanding of the question. You're just talking the best 5 football players that ever wore the black and gold?
Correct.
Then, okay, I wouldn't put Nile Kinnick.
While they were playing at Iowa.
Yes.
Not like, because, you look at like Kittle, he obviously.
All right, here we go. All it just says is your top 5 greatest Iowa football players.
Yeah.
Not who are the most skilled athletes at Iowa football or whatever.
So you're going back to the original greatest Hawkeyes or greatest Iowa football?
That's what the tweet says. I'm looking at it right now. Top 5 greatest Iowa football players.
And I take that as how they performed on the field.
The guy won the Heisman. He was the best player in the country.
You are right about that.
It befuddles me that
something about it
right before the national anthem, when they're doing the Hawkeye, when they're doing the Nile Kinnick speech right before the national anthem, that you were probably just wiping your ass, sniffing your nose at the guy.
No, I say that speech every time Nile comes up in the black and white video.
And you probably finish it under your breath. It's like, yeah, that guy probably sucked though.
I thank God that I was born on the gridirons of the Midwest and not on the battlefields of Europe. I can speak confidently and positively that the players of this country would much rather struggle and fight to win the Heisman Award than the Croix de Guerre. Thank you.
The Tyler Kluwer version is.
And I could never fucking play in 2022.
No, the Tyler Kluwer version is I thank God I was born in 1922
Yep.
and not 1998.
Yep.
I can
Exactly.
speak confidently and positively that I would have never played for the Iowa Hawkeyes in the later 2000s, but I can right now. Thank you. That's what you say to yourself every time that speech comes on.
That's funny, dude. That's funny. I can speak confidently, positively, that at 5'7", 170, I would have gotten my shit rocked a century from now. Oh God.
You know, he could, if he didn't die, he could still be alive today. He'd be like 100.
100 years old, yeah. Well, 39, he was, I don't know how old he was when he was. Yeah, he'd be like 101, 102, 103, something like that. Dude, can you imagine? But
People in the governor.
People back then didn't really have 100-year life expectancies either, though.
Okay, but what about the 100-year-olds walking around right now?
Yeah,
they were born back then.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few of them. That's what I'm saying. It's not unheard of today.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right. I mean, there's a chance. You think Nile Kinnick smoked cigs? You think he ripped darts? Had to, right?
You know,
everybody did.
Just the time, yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, I think so too. It's okay. He doesn't make my top 5. Sorry.
The disrespect.
He makes my top 10. He might be at 7.
All right. Give me your top 6 again that you're putting ahead of him.
Okay. Larry Station. Andre Tippett.
In order?
No, this is not in order. This is the 6 this is the 6 that I can think of the top of my head that would be before Nile. Larry Station, Andre Tippett, Bob Sanders, Robert Gallery, Brandon Scherff, and I one of the quarterbacks comes to mind. Maybe
can't
both.
Even name him, but he's ahead of him.
No. I'm just saying either Chuck Long or Brad Banks come to mind, potentially both before Nile and then Nile for me. And then probably Greenway. Is that 9? And Torrey Taylor.
Torrey Taylor he's still got what, 2 years eligibility?
Still has 2 if he wants it. Yeah. Maybe 3.
You know, if he punts like he has, he very well could be a top 15 Hawkeye. They're going to rename.
Roby.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're going to rename the Reggie Roby Award after
to the Taylor.
The Roby.
The Taylor Trophy.
Yeah, the Roby Taylor Trophy.
Oh, dude, that would be actually sick. And you get a $25 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse if you win.
Too bad you can't redeem it in the state of Iowa because we don't have one.
Definitely not Iowa City. They turned it into a nail salon. So who are your 5 then? Who are your 5?
Okay, yeah, Larry Station, Andre Tippett are in there, Bob Sanders,
Nile, and who? Who's your 5th? It's tough, huh?
I think it's Chuck Long.
Yeah, I was going to say hard not to throw one of the quarterbacks or the tackles in there.
Yeah. I mean,
what is okay? So now
we've had some great offensive linemen. It's
the linemen get disrespected.
Tough to pick an offensive lineman.
You get disrespected.
They just don't have stats really.
Yeah. Here's my question.
It's more of a unit thing versus like individual. Like Robert Gallery and Brandon Scherff are just 2 of the most talented people ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And probably had 2 of the best college careers you could possibly have.
Is Wirfs not considered with those 2 because he left early? Has to be,
I think that has something to do with it. If you talk about greatest Hawkeye of all time,
because
your
Wirfs,
length of work has something to do with it.
I agree.
Like a guy
Definitely.
who had one great season versus a guy who was great for 4 years.
Yeah.
A guy who's great for 4 years takes precedent. Always.
Because
that's why Brad Banks isn't in my top 5.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you're right. Because when I think of, okay, if we're going to put a lineman in the top 5, we're in the top 10. It's Gallery and Scherff, and then it drops off big time. Like I don't, Wirfs is probably next.
Wirfs is up there.
Balaga was really good.
Balaga, Reef, Yonda. I mean, dude, like there's a lot of great offensive.
But none of them are on the Gallery Scherff tier though. And I just wonder, like Wirfs was just, it was all, he had all the talent that Scherff and
arguably and then some
and more, right? But he left early. He left a whole 13 games on the table. If he plays another year, he's on their level.
I think so. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. But nowadays it's not. That's why being a great at your college is going to become harder and harder, because there was like this multi-year tenure that really sticks with people who stay the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a guy who flashes for 1 year, like think if Josh Jackson stays another year, like it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It's probably gonna be a lot harder for guys to break like school records, like all-time records, like season single records. They're gonna go by the wayside
forever
because,
right?
You know, I like the spread offense. No one's playing defense. You know, like guys are gonna throw for 500 yards a game, and then they're gonna go to the NFL after 2 seasons. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. You now, do you honestly think? Nah, never mind. I was gonna say, like, would guys that are making like stupid NIL money just stick around in college for, you know, just for the NFL? I was like, I'm making a shit ton of money. I'm having fun. Right?
Speaking of that, I saw a tweet, and I'm gonna leave a pause in here for a second. I'll take it out in the post, but let me find the tweet quick.
I mean, shit. I would have stayed around for a 6th year to make no money.
Bro, I would have paid for an extra year. So I can't find the specific tweet with all the NFL players he's going to make more than, but the 2023 quarterback, Jaden Rashada, Miami Hurricane quarterback commit in the class of 2023, is going to earn $9.5 million in an NIL deal, and evidently turned down $11 million from Florida. And he's going to make more than, and they listed these 10 NFL players that are like good, like top 30 fantasy picks, like Eckler and all these other guys. Like if you're earning that kind of money in college, I could see a few guys like the stupid doesn't even make sense kind of money. They might stick around.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if, like, you know, the money is just there to get them in. Do they make that all 4 years?
It looked like that was a total deal, like 9.5 total.
We're getting contracts structured. This is absolutely ridiculous.
It's so stupid, dude.
I'm honestly so freaking glad that we're not around for this.
I am too. Because
I can only imagine like what a mess that just makes things.
It would have been so embarrassing.
What head coaches have to deal with now is just absolutely insane.
I think it's Jay Wright, the Villanova basketball coach.
Yeah,
he retired. He's not Coach K old. I think he's maybe in his 60 years old. Mm-hmm. And I think part of the reason was because he did not want to fuck with NIL. And he's on the top, dude. He's had Villanova at the top for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know that KF hates it. Like, he's still going to learn and have his staff adapt and grow. And obviously they're doing something right, because we're getting 4-star recruits pulling out of our ass right now. I think Tyler Barnes is playing Magic Man right now. But KF definitely isn't one that's like, oh yeah, I want to really dive into NIL and see how much we can change the game of football, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
The Big Game Boomer account came out with the top 50 linebacker coaches in college football. How some guy on Twitter would even be able to judge the coaching of a specific position on 128 teams across the country blows my mind. Guy must be a legend. He has Wallace as number 19 on there. So that's purely because
has made some pretty damn good coaching pretty damn good linebackers over the years.
Seth Wallace is. How long before Seth Wallace is a head coach? You think he's going to stay under KF until he leaves?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, at some point, these assistants for KF, like it, I guess not. I mean, Phil Parker,
Phil has no interest in leaving. Phil will retire. Phil might retire before KF.
He might. He dead ass might.
Mm-hmm. And if that were to happen, I think Seth would take the defense coordinator role. He's already like the
basically
co-defensive coordinator or something like that. Kind of. He's got that in his title. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I know he'll be a head coach at a Power 5 program before he retires.
100%. So, and LeVar is going to be too.
Probably, yeah.
People are really starting to warm up to the idea of LeVar just taking over for KF when he leaves.
I mean, I just want it to be someone with that either was on KF staff
within the tree.
Yeah, within the tree, or someone with a deep connection. Like,
yeah.
You know, like people like to throw the Bob Stoops name around. I could get down with that.
I'd be all about it.
Yeah, but I don't want anyone that doesn't know what Iowa football is all about anywhere near our program.
Because that is the moment that when they bring somebody in that's not, you know, that doesn't understand the current way things are done and kind of the history, I'll still be a fan of Iowa football, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be a connection lost between a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's just inevitable for when.
It's like when Hayden
KF leaves, regardless, even if it is LeVar who takes over, you know, all right, you know,
you're right.
It's our head coach is gone, so it's new head coach. You know, we know and played for the current head coach, but it's still different, you know.
You're right.
Yeah. But what I don't want is it's happened with like other programs out there is like, you know, like your legendary coach retires and they go and get someone outside the tree who is successful but has a different style of coaching or whatever, brings them in. Like my the one that sticks in my mind is like when Michigan hired Rich Rod, trashed their program for the next decade.
Yeah, that was tough, man. Like
he was a guy who was having a lot of success out, Arizona? Or no, West Virginia, I think.
I don't remember.
West Virginia to Michigan, then he got fired and went to Arizona, I think. Anyway, it was like having a lot of success at the program prior. Comes to Michigan and just does things differently, and it just does not work. And literally crippled the program for a decade.
It's crazy what you can do to a program too.
Yeah.
I will say this. Iowa is the type of program where something wrong, they fuck something up in the hiring process. Coaches go their separate ways. We got Wallace goes and takes over his own program.
Yeah, exactly. Say they hire someone from the outside, brings in a whole new staff.
Iowa's the type of program that can go to 3-9 yearly real quick.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
And that hurts to say, but we don't
because
have
our margin of victory is just
the margin of victory is already small. We're in the middle of the Midwest where we don't attract people to the fucking palm trees and the desert heat of Phoenix, or like even
not a huge population to recruit from in the first place. Here.
Right. You're pulling, we already get all of our players from Indianapolis and Florida and Texas, and it's like Iowa could very easily be a shit program, bottom of the Big Ten for 5-10 years. It could be a long rebuilding process if they fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. And I see that as a much less likely scenario if you hire from someone within.
I agree.
In the family.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I do know this. In-N-Out is trash. It's bottom tier. And this is the latest we've recorded a podcast in a long, long time. So Tech Guy's Tech Guy's got to go to bed. I got to get a fucking workout in the morning. I am ready to be back in Iowa for so many reasons. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. Jump in on the conversation, find that tweet from us, and give us your top 5 Hawks of all time. If Kevin Ward isn't in there, it's disrespectful.
If Nile Kinnick isn't in there, I will find you. I'll tell you you're wrong in front of all your coworkers, peers, and family members.
Where do you think you and I end up on all-time greatest Hawks? Are we in the top?
Let's see. How many have there been?
Are we in the top 2,000?
Imagine. So 30. Just call it 30 a class for 100 years, right?
3,000 guys. Are we in the top 2,000, you think?
Well,
have to be, right?
Because half of them probably didn't finish.
You're right. The attrition. So let's call it 18 guys a year make it. And that's probably high.
18 guys a year, like either graduate or leave the NFL early.
Right.
Times 100.
1,800. So we're in the top 2,000.
We're in the top 2,000. Let's
fuck
go.
Yes. Love that. Are we in the top 1,500?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. You're definitely higher than me. You were captain.
You're a 4-year starter, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but you were captain. We're actually probably pretty close.
We probably are very close.
Are we top 1,200? Top 2/3?
We're saying out of 1,800. I'm saying we might be middle. You got to imagine a lot of these guys didn't start either, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying we're top 50%, man.
Okay, so we're in the top
1,000. We're top 1,000, baby.
Give it to us, man. Hey, you know what? You know what? Are we higher than Drake?
Oh, 100%.
We're both
no question.
We're both higher than Drake, baby. Let's go. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy and his quesadilla.
His dumbass quesadilla. I hope it's good. I hope they fucked it up. That's it. I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna edit this episode. That's a funny way to end this conversation. And let us know. Tune into your thoughts. Thanks to DRF again for sponsoring the podcast. As always, we'll see you in number 330. Until then, we love you. Peace.